What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Football Casual. I'm not sure why I said it like that. Maybe the new intro though. I don't know. Maybe if you like that, we're gonna keep it going. But I have no idea why I just did that. But today we're doing a tier list of football kits from the 24-25 Premier League season. I believe these are only the home kits. This is just a tier list I found on Tier Maker. So if you want me to see me do home, away, and alternate, let me know in the comments. But like the name says, football casual. We're switching it up. Sometimes we're talking football, sometimes we're talking casual. And also, I am a football casual, so it's all combined into one. But today we're doing, like I said, football kits, something a little different. I'm gonna do more of these in the future, but I think it's most important to start with the current ones. Then we could drive back to retro, do certain years, do certain tournaments, maybe World Cup, Euros, different type of tournaments like that. So let me know what you want to see. To be honest with you guys, I was gonna cover the Chelsea Newcastle game, but that was actually on Mother's Day here in the United States. So shout out to all your mothers if you're from the US and all over the world. But I didn't actually get to watch most of that game live, so I didn't want to talk too much on it. And also we lost, so it's just disappointing. No point in even revisiting that. But I will be covering the Chelsea United game on Friday. So if you're interested in that, check out the channel back on Friday. I'm definitely going to be covering that game because that is a must-win for our Champions League hopes this season. But also, Barcelona, Madrid, El Clasico was a banger. So I was going to talk about that one too, but obviously that was also on Mother's Day. But anyway, that's enough waffling. Let's get into it. Football kits from this year. We got a bunch of different tiers. We got GOAT, Class, Decent, Mid, Disappointing, and Atrocious. These are the default ones that were on here, and I actually like them, so we're just gonna run with these. So let's get it started. First off, and also just to be clear, I'm doing this. I'm not some fashion god or anything, so don't take my word as law. I'm just doing this based off something I would wear as a neutral. So this is not gonna say. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's an Arsenal kit. So I'm not gonna wear it because it's Arsenal. I'm gonna talk about purely on the aesthetics of the kit. So first off, let's start with Arsenal. Arsenal, I actually like their kits this year. I'm pretty partial to the Adidas stripes on the kit, on the side of the kit. I like that kind of look. To be honest, I really like their black kit. If we were doing home, away, and alternate, but mainly if we're just talking about this home kit, it's a solid kit. It's a solid kit. I feel like for now, I'm gonna put it in decent. I feel like it can get better, but I might actually bump that up to class after I look at a few more. But next up, we got Aston Villa. Now, Villa, if you really look at it, same build as the Arsenal kit because both Adidas kits, they kind of went with the same thing for both kits, but obviously in Villa colors. Now, if we're talking about rocking it, Villa colors, kind of interesting to work with in terms of just casual wear. Not the best, personally, but it's a solid kit still. I think the Adidas silhouette just worked this year. So I'm probably going to put that in decent as well. I'm going to bump Arsenal up to class. I think that is a pretty solid kit. Now, Bournemouth, the black, the red. I'm not a big fan of stripes, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of the stripes. I don't hate stripes, but I'd rather not have stripes on my kit. And to be honest, a lot of these kits have stripes, but this one has minimal stripes. There's one big black down the middle, and then the two red on the sides. It's a solid kit. I think this one's decent. Nothing crazy. On the pitch, it looks good. But I don't know how much I'd actually rock it. But I think the colors are actually pretty flexible to rock. That's a solid kit. Then we go to Brentford. I know I haven't been talking about sponsors so far. Honestly, Bournemouth, that sponsor could possibly bring it down. But this Brentford one, I'm not a big fan of this kit. I prefer the black and red to the black and white. And the sponsor's not the best. Yeah, that's going in mid. I'm not gonna lie. Brighton. I know I said I don't like stripes, but I actually like the Brighton kit. Maybe I'm thinking of the full kit. I think all the colors just really look good together. That shade of blue and the white. How much would I rock it? I don't know. That's where it kind of brings it down. And the way the stripes form around the American Express logo is interesting. It's interesting, but if I had to choose, I'd probably put it in decent at best. I say at best. It could go in class, to be honest. It really could go in class, but I'm gonna go decent for now. Now, my beloved Chelsea. Now, call me biased, but I thought this year the Chelsea kits banged, and I actually did not cop it. I copped last year's because I was like quickly trying to get it while we had no sponsor because I like that no sponsor look. And then this year we once again had that same situation. But these kits I like way better, and I still haven't copped it. I do need to cop it. So remind me of that in the comments to cop that kit. I just like the pattern on it. It's something different that we don't usually do. Get some depth to the kit and shade. Bro, call me biased, and I wouldn't say this every year. Even the one I copped last year, I wouldn't have put in GOAT. But this kit, I really like. If I feel like GOAT's a tough tier because there's some retro kits that like these kits can't compare to. But if we're doing a self-contained tier list where only compared to each other, I like the Chelsea kit the most so far. So that's going to GOAT. Now we got Crystal Palace. Now the Palace kit this year is kind of nice. I don't like the sponsor too much, but I know I said I don't like stripes. And now that I said that, I feel like it's kind of coming back to bite me. But this red and blue with the pattern, the kind of the texture on it, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie. That's going in class. Palace kind of cooked with that kit this year, and I'm no Palace fan. You know, they're doing well in the league, especially in the back half of the season. But I gotta respect that kit. That kit looks nice. I feel like if you just wore that out, it would look good. Everton, I mean, standard. I'm putting that in disappointing. I was gonna put it in mid, but honestly, just disappointing. Steak logo, nothing crazy. I've seen the steak logo way too much. And it's just a standard blue kit. Like, once again, call me biased. If you're gonna pick between the Everton kit and the Chelsea kit, who both got the blue, there's no way I'm picking Everton over that. So I'm going disappointing in Everton. Fulham, it's a pretty clean kit. I'm not gonna lie. The thing that holds it back for me is that I'm not gonna be wearing white kits like that. I'm not a big fan of wearing white tops. So, which sounds crazy. I know that's the most basic top you could possibly wear, but I don't like the chance of that getting dirty. That really annoys me. But the Fulham kit is clean. The hints of the red, the black. I'm gonna put it in mid, but that's high for a white kit. So to be fair to it. Next we got Ipswich, I believe. Ipswich, I don't like the pinstripe. Not really my thing. It's got this Ed Sheeran tour logo, which, you know, in theory, I like the concept behind that. You know, Ed Sheeran back in his club, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe on each individual album, those logos look cool, but all in a line like that, it just looks like, bro, I'm not in math class, bro. So I'm gonna put that in disappointing as well. Low key, damn near atrocious, but I'm gonna put that in disappointing as well. Leicester. Yeah, I don't like the Everton kit, but the Leicester kit is just the worst version, low key. The sponsor looks worse. It's pretty much the same kit, but I'm putting that in atrocious just because the sponsor does not look good. As much as I don't even care about steak as a sponsor, at least it's got some. It looks better than whatever this is. Okay, up next we got Liverpool. See, Liverpool, I'm actually not mad at. I always like the little yellow accents of the badge and the swoosh. I think that looks pretty good. This pinstripe is pretty negligible. It's not as obvious as, say, Ipswich, for example. So I'm actually not mad at that one. It's my favorite kit ever? No. But I'm gonna put that in decent. I don't mind the Liverpool kit. The City kit though. City has had some interesting variations of this sky blue over the years. I feel like this is one of the more basic ones. I feel like they've done more interesting things in the past. And I also don't like the City badge. I know they've had it for years already, but the old one was clear. So that's going in mid. United, of course. Pretty standard kit for United, but not a great sponsor. Basic red kit. If I had to choose a red kit, I would prefer the Arsenal kit by a mile. I'd prefer the Liverpool kit. We got the Forest kit coming up. The United one's not the best, so I'm putting that disappointing. Newcastle. Okay, so I said I don't like stripes, but a clean black and white stripe isn't the worst. You know, Newcastle, they did just beat us on the weekend, so maybe I could pull some salty points and drop them down. But I don't know. I think this looks pretty clean. The sponsor isn't the best, but the way it's formed in the shirt within the stripes is kind of clean. So, I'm putting that in decent. I don't know, my stripes thing, I got a lot in decent, but I actually don't mind that one. Now we're moving on to Forest, big surprise of the season. It's another red kit, but if I had to choose, I would choose it above the United kit and probably below the Liverpool kit. It's a solid red kit, not the best sponsor, but not the worst. I think it gets the job done. And I can't see it super clearly because it's so small, but it looks like it has a little pattern in there. It's not the worst. I'll put that in mid. Okay, Southampton. Atrocious. That is one of the worst kits I've seen in a minute. The stripes are bad. It's got some kind of, not only does it stripe, but the stripes got some kind of form coming to try to, I guess, shape the waist or something. I don't know. This is looks like some female kit, low key. And yeah, I just don't like the way that comes together at the bottom there. The sponsor is terrible. The badge is getting and the brand are getting lost in the stripes. It's just, that's an atrocious kit. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, Spurs. Spurs, like I said about white kits, I don't love white kits, but this one does have the navy sleeves. AIA sponsor has always been kind of clean. I don't mind that. But I don't know. I don't love it. Like when I play FIFA, I really want to see Spurs wearing this kit. I like their away kit way better. But this one, I guess I'll put it in mid. It's not the worst, it's not the best. For a white kit, it's decent. West Ham and Villa, always a toss up who's gonna have the better kit because they have the same exact kind of kit layout in terms of color blocking. Also, they both have betting sponsors. It looks like too, which is funny. If I put Villa in decent, I gotta put West Ham in mid. I'm not gonna lie. The Villa kit looks better to me. Just the color blocking. This one's a cleaner color blocking, just the sleeves versus the torso. But I kind of like how that the sleeves kind of come in on the shoulders here. I don't know. I personally prefer that, but maybe I'm biased. Actually, I'm not biased. I don't care about either of those teams. But last up, we got Wolves. And I actually like Wolves' kit. It's not the craziest kit, but it's a clean shade of yellow. It's not like too bright a yellow like this here. It's a nice shade of yellow. The sponsor, it's big, but because it's such a basic kit and they have the badge in the middle, I kind of like how that lines up. The only issue is now that the brand is kind of just off to its side on its own, so it's not going to go and go. But it's a class kit, in my opinion. I like the Wolves kit. In terms of being a neutral, I probably rock that in some scenario, even if I don't really rock yellow like that. Low key, I'm bumping. Okay, I was gonna bump Palace up, but I really don't love that sponsor. But I'm gonna put them above Arsenal. If Palace has a sponsorless kit like Chelsea, and that's probably why Chelsea's a GOAT. And I know I'm gonna sound biased, but Chelsea has no sponsor there. That makes it cleanest kit because the sponsor low-key ruins a lot of the kits. It's really not because it's Chelsea. Blue is my favorite color, and that's why Chelsea became my favorite team when I was younger. So I guess you could say it reverse engineered its way to being the best kit on the list. But I love the blue. I love the patterns. No sponsor. It's a clean kit. But as a neutral, especially, if Palace didn't have this sponsor, that would have been over the Chelsea kit. But I had to put that there. And then, yeah, I think this is. Honestly, I think the Arsenal kit's clean. I'm not gonna order all the tiers, but yes, that Southampton kit is definitely the worst. That is definitely the worst kit. But yeah, there we go. You got 1, you got 3, 5, 6, 3, 2. So pretty decent distribution. Nice curve there. I'm no mathematician, so I don't even know what these things are called. But yep, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I very much appreciate it if you made it this far. More kit rankings in the future, more rankings in general. What other fun things can I do? Let me know what you guys want to see on the channel. I got some plans, like I said, coming up. We're definitely doing the Chelsea United game. We're definitely doing the Chelsea Forest game, last game of the season. That's basically a cup final for us. But what other fun stuff do you want to see me encroach on? I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm going to do more of these in the future for sure. Definitely some retro kits coming up. So like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later this week. Chelsea United, come on the Blues.